Just such an incredible source of inspiration and positivity. Today, I will be making a recipe straight from the first edition of Mrs. Beeton's famous book that called Book of Household Management that was originally published in 1861. I also will be sharing with you my new crochet pattern, and it is very neatly related to this recipe. Now, depending on where you are in the world, Mrs. Beeton and her book may not need introduction at all, but just in case, I'd like to say a few words and sort of share with you why she's so fascinating. So Mrs. Beeton, as we know her, or her full name is Isabella Beeton, was born in London in 1836. She became really popular after publishing her book in 1861, this book that we will be using for our recipe. And it was just a massive success. It was reprinted so many times, and there was a historian, I unfortunately forgot his name, but I thought the quote was just amazing to show her success, or I guess success of her work. He was saying that Mrs. Beeton's book was outselling all other books except for the Bible, and people just loved it. It wasn't just that there are hundreds of recipes that she included, it was how she organized them. She would write down how long it would take, how much it would cost, what season the ingredients were in. But what makes this book even more incredible, I think, if it wasn't just about cooking, because women of the time had to manage so many things. You will find everything in there. You will find advice on budgeting, list of seasonal products. You will find list of wages, like what is considered appropriate and fair. You will find not just recipes, let's say, about how to cook a pigeon, but you will find the facts and pictures, and it was very educational resource. When we talk about this book, we call it the Book of Household Management. I hope you'll not get too bored with that, but I would like to read you a full title of this book, and that probably will show you the significance and the scale of the work. So it called the Book of Household Management, comprising information for the mistress, housekeeper, cook, kitchen
maid, butler, footman, coachman, valet, upper and under housemaids, ladies' maid, maid of all work, laundry maid, nurse, nursemaid, monthly, wet and sick nurses, etc., etc. Also, sanitary, medical, and legal memoranda with a history of the origin, properties, and uses
of all things connected with home, life, and comfort. We have an insights, we have a quote from Mrs. Beeton herself that she put in preface for her book, and this is what she says: "I must frankly own that if I had known beforehand that this book would have cost me the labor which it has, I should never have been courageous enough to commence it." I think it's absolutely amazing, and I'm so ever grateful that she was brave enough and she didn't give up, and she published this amazing book. And yeah, for us it doesn't have as much of significance anymore. I mean, we have other sources, we have other recipes. It became a standard to for publishing a recipe to write number of servings, ingredients, and so on. But she was one of the pioneers. I'm very interested personally in Victorian and Edwardian times, and I knew this book, but I never used it for anything. Somehow this time I opened chapter 1, and the very first sentence, just such an incredible source of inspiration and positivity that she delivered in that first sentence. She said, "As with the commander of an army or the leader of any enterprise, so is it with the mistress of a house. Her spirit will be seen through the whole establishment." And I thought, you know what? Why wouldn't I cook something delicious from this book? Just to try, just to see how it's gonna work. I settled on something simple, cozy, and very Victorian, apple charlotte, called a very simple apple charlotte. You just needed a few basic ingredients like bread, butter. I had that. Brown sugar. Well, it doesn't have brown sugar. It doesn't say brown sugar. It says moist sugar. So I had that as well. And somehow I missed that I need lemons. So yeah, I'll just run out and grab some lemons and we will give it a go. Okay, here are my apples and I hope I'll use a bunch of them. Bread. So it says 9 slices. I think I have a little more than that. I'll let you know at the end what how much bread and how many apples I'll end up using. So it says butter a pie dish, place a layer of bread and butter without the crust at the bottom, then a layer of apples pared, cored and cut into thin slices. So I'm just gonna do all that but in a slightly different order. I just gonna peel and cut apples first, and then I will deal with everything else. I mean, in truth it's a little bit difficult for me to do because this is my first cooking video, so I only made crochet tutorials up to this point. I started to a little bit sort of chats and that kind of stuff, but I didn't cook yet on camera, so I feel I feel a bit awkward because I have this tiny spot in the kitchen where I can do it that I think looks good, and then I have all these apples, and then I have camera hovering right over my head, which makes me feel uncomfortable because I don't want to touch it and sort of shake it. So we'll see. I'll try my best. Okay, one important thing is don't do anything with these apple peels. You actually will need them at the end. It's super neat. I've never done that before. So just put them in a bowl like this, and then actually you will end up using them too. Okay, butter pie dish. So we're gonna do it now. I think I have a bit much, but that's okay. I mean, there's gonna be lots of bread here, so I will make sure nothing will get stuck or burn or whatnot. Okay, now we have to deal with the bread because it says that we need to place a layer of bread and butter without the crust at the bottom. So we have to deal with the crust. So there we go. Okay, that's all done. I ended up using 11 slices of bread, but it's very thin. So I'm sure when they were saying 9 slices, they would be slicing them by hand. So it would be bigger slices, but I used 11 of this kind of standard pre-sliced bread. And then now I'm just gonna try to trim my apples as much as I can. Something like this, almost like a potato chip kind of stuff, see? Okay, now here I have a zest of 2 lemons. I'm not sure how much I need, but it looks good. And it smells so good. I love the smell of citrus smell in general. Okay, And then I will need 2 tablespoonfuls of juice. Okay, so I squeezed some lemon juice as well, and moist sugar to taste. So I have no idea how much I'll need. I mean, my apples are sweet already. It's like, I don't remember what it is, but it's like Gala or Fuji or one of those. And just because it takes time for my oven to preheat, like it I don't know, it's quite slow. So it doesn't say, of course, anything about temperature, so it just says bake in a brisk oven for other more than 3/4 of an hour. So I am guessing, but I turned it on for 350 Fahrenheit. So hopefully that's gonna be okay. And now place a layer of bread and butter without the crust at the bottom, and then a layer of apples, and then another layer of bread and butter, and then one of apples, proceeding in this manner until the dish is full. So I'm kind of thinking it's probably, I'm not sure, but I think it's not gonna work like that for me, like in terms of multi-layers, because my pie dish is quite shallow. I think I'm gonna try to make a layer of bread, then a layer of apples, and then the layer of bread again. And I think that's probably all I will be able to do. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm doing it in the right way, because it's not gonna be very pretty, but I already started, so I guess it doesn't matter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna butter both sides, and then I will just try to sort of like a puzzle to fill gaps if there are any gaps. So we'll see. I feel like as long as it's nice and sort of even as a layer, and you can put apples on top, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Not super good looking. Please don't judge me. Okay, I think I would do it differently next time, but let's cover it. These are our apples. Okay, it's almost full. I still have to have room for another layer of bread, but I'd say based on what I used here, it's about 8 medium-sized apples. So it's a sprinkle over a portion of the lemon peel and juice and sweeten with moist sugar. So okay, I don't know how much. I don't want that to ruin it. Okay, let's put some like this. A little bit lemon juice, I guess it can't hurt. Okay, and some sugar. Okay, I think it's okay, like it makes sense what I'm doing, but one thing that I would do differently, I think, it's difficult to put zest like this, like to sprinkle it, right? Because it's sort of clumping together a little bit, and I'm worried that I'm gonna have more lemony and less lemony sort of sections. So if I would be making this again, and I mean, maybe you have a better idea, let me know, but I would put lemon zest on the bread. Yeah, see, like this. I'm gonna try that. Like, I feel like it makes more sense. Okay, this is what I have. Okay, not very pretty. But okay, then it says, then cover it up with the peel of the apples to preserve the top from browning or burning. I'm like super curious. Let me know if you ever done it, or you heard maybe your parents or grandparents used apple peels as this sort of natural cover for pie or for a dish. But it's like super unique. Looks pretty good. I just want to make sure all bread pieces are covered with apples. I mean, I think it's supposed to keep it moist, right? Because the the skin is pretty moist itself and pretty thick too, so it's very clever, but I don't know what's gonna happen. I guess we'll find out. And then it says bake in a brisk oven for rather more than 3/4 hours. So like I said, I am going to try to use 350 Fahrenheit. Not sure for how long yet, so we'll see. Okay, let's put it in the oven. I'm really excited and nervous at the same time. So this is what we have. That's very interesting. Look at the skins. They curled and they like really, I mean, they're still soft, but they like rigid at the same time. Well, I assume that we're done with peels. I don't think they're edible. I tried to chew on one and it's like you pretty much can't bite it. It's like a piece of paper or something at this point. So I just removed it from the top. Luckily I had a little bit of homemade ice cream, like vanilla ice cream left, so I am going to serve it that way. Let's see. Okay, so as I was walking between my kitchen and this room, I was thinking, how should I rate this recipe? And I think I would give it a 4 out of 5. And there are two reasons for that. The first one is I found it to be a little bit plain. Like lemon helps a lot. All that zest and lemon juice definitely contributes to that very interesting flavor. My boys also added cinnamon there, and then, like as I was saying, we topped it with a little bit of vanilla ice cream, and it really boosts the flavor. Second reason why it's 4 out of 5 is actually a little bit subjective. There's a lot of butter. I have trouble digesting too much fat at once, so for me, like, I couldn't even enjoy a full bowl. Like, I could only have a little bit. It's like a really heavy filling dish, which could be a good thing. Like, if you have no trouble with that at all, like my boys don't, so everybody ate full plates and enjoyed that, but I couldn't. Yeah, so those are like two biggest downsides, I suppose. Otherwise, it is a very delicious, cozy, comforty food. Like, I followed the recipes as you can take a screenshot, and if you want to try to make it as well. I used 8 apples and then 11 thin slices of bread, 2 lemons. I didn't need so much juice, but I needed 2 lemons to get enough zest. And what else? And sugar, I was just, honestly, I can't even tell how much I used, but I was just sprinkling a little bit. I baked it at 350 Fahrenheit, and the time in my oven, it took 55 minutes, and it was perfect. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this experiment. And now, as promised, I'm gonna show you my new crochet pattern. In fact, we're gonna finish it together. It's almost done. I was about to stitch it, and then I thought, you know what, we're gonna do it together. So let's go, and I'll show you what I have. Here's my new pattern for hot pad, or, well, I guess the proper name for it is a trivet, and it's going to be an apple pie. So yeah, I thought it would be just the perfect time to show it off, since we were slicing apples and baking delicious things anyway. So it's almost done. I already made the crust. It's a double crust, so it's very nice and thick. I made apple slices, and lattice crust is done as well, so I just have to kind of put it all together. Yeah, I played with apple slices a little bit. This one I stained with coffee. This one is the original one. I wasn't very happy with how like white, like it's almost like too white my yarn was, but they didn't have ivory, they didn't have like off-white, so I didn't really have a choice. I also think it's super cute if you like embroider a few seeds. I mean, it wouldn't be super visible, so I wouldn't do it for all of them, because once you put lattice crust on top, it will cover most of those apples, so the most sort of visible part will be actually red and green. I still made a few with seeds, and I just think it's so cute, and I know they're there, so that's just sparks lots of joy. See, I think this is super cute. And just keep in mind that it has to be cotton thread, just because it's a hot pad, so you will be putting hot things on it. I think it has to be practical. So if you're using it just as kitchen decor, like you're just gonna hang it somewhere, put it somewhere in the kitchen, then I guess it doesn't matter. So you can make it as full as you like. But because I want to use it as a trivet or as a hot pad, I want it to be full, but I also want it to be flat at the same time. So I'm just gonna play with it a little bit and we'll see. So now what I'm gonna do is I will make a few stitches sort of here and there to attach apple slices to each other and to the dish as well. You don't have to do it because once you put lattice crust on top, they're not gonna go anywhere, obviously. But since I'll be using it as a hot pad, I feel like I'm gonna be washing it often, and I just want to make sure that they nice and secure. I really love how these little apple slices pop against the crust, right? You know, it's such a simple detail, but I don't know, it just makes it feel so cute and cozy. If you will be making this pattern, you have to make sure to use 100% cotton and not blend and not acrylic yarn. Acrylic yarn may look, you know, very cute and they have usually lots of colors, but it doesn't hold up to heat, right? And I think acrylic is like plastic. So if you place a hot pan or dish on it, you don't know what's gonna happen. The yarn can melt, warp, you know, stick to your cookware. That would be a disaster. But cotton is perfect. I used here 100% cotton, quite thick. I used a 4mm hook. It has strong fibers, so it's pretty good. It's durable, it's heat resistant. You don't have to worry about anything. We have so many layers here because the pie crust itself is a double, and then you have all these apple slices, and now we're gonna put a lattice crust on top. So it is quite a thick pad. So yeah, just make sure to use cotton, and if you embroider seeds or anything like that, just also make sure to use cotton. Okay, so just gonna tie all these knots. Perfect. And now I'm actually going to attach lattice crust with that same cotton yarn. So it's going to be strong and heat safe. And the way I designed it is now like these ends will go nicely with the crust. See, you can attach it there and it's going to be perfect and it's not going to be visible at all. So you just have to stitch it all the way around. This one is completely optional, but I wanted to add a little hanging loop at the top, so you can hang it up in your kitchen. I think it will be very practical to have that. It's just a simple chain. You can make it bigger or smaller depending on, you know, your preferences or how big the hook is and so on. Just like a little piece like this, and then I'll fold it like this, like in half. And I will just put one stitch through both ends. That's it. Looks good. And now I'm going to stitch it to the top. And ta-da! Here is my little apple pie trivet. I'll give it a quick wash, let it dry, and then it will be ready to go into the kitchen. I hope you had fun today, and let me know what you think. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a like, and of course subscribe if you'd love more cozy videos like this one. See you soon. Bye!